Hey guys, welcome back to the ChangeMakers channel. If you're new here, we are the Millennial Money Experts, and today's episode is all about investing in the US stock market from Jamaica. So get your pens, going to need to take notes. So before I jump into the content, guys, you'll notice it's just me today, Tony. The pretty side of ChangeMakers, a joke. I am missing my sister Jamie, and she'll be back. No, don't panic, she will be back. But we do want to keep giving you the content you want about managing your money. There's a lot happening right now, and so I thought about today's topic because I don't want you to miss out, right? So hope you're ready to take notes. If you're sitting in Jamaica, and to be honest, my research didn't cover the other Caribbean islands, I'm sorry guys, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. I want to walk you through how I opened my accounts in the US from Jamaica, right? So first of all, I don't do this, but you could, which is to use a Jamaican stock brokerage, and they will open an account for you with a US broker. I think VMBS, Sagicor, Proven, and Ideal do that today. I think that sounds perfectly fine. You should definitely check it out. I'm going to be very honest, I'm not sure why you need to, especially when I walk you through how to open it directly. The explanation I've heard is that some people want to talk to a person. So when you open it directly with the US broker, it might be a little bit hard to actually get somebody on the phone. But when you go through the Jamaican broker, you have somebody you can talk to. Sure, I frankly don't like talking to anybody. I'm very happy talking to the chatbot on the FAQ page, and I've never really had any problems with that. So I won't knock it, but to me, you can just go direct. But if you want to, you can use a Jamaican broker, and I gave you the names, right? So the two brokers in the US that are low fee, right? So they're very economical, interactive brokers, and two, First Trade. Both platforms are regulated, fully certified, complies with all the necessary licenses. This is totally above board, nothing you need to worry about. But to open the account brand new, it takes about 3 to 5 days, and I would say that doesn't include you wiring the money, right? But the documents they're going to ask you for are a passport, proof of address, your employer's name and address, and you're going to have to sign a W-8 Ben form, which is their tax certification form, right? All of this is online, so you simply upload your passport page, you upload your proof of address, you upload the information about your employer. I did not have to give a job letter. I think I just stated the name and address of the employer, and I'm sure if you're self-employed and your company is fully registered, you can just give that company name as well. And like I said, you do have to do a Swift wire to fund the account, right? So out of your Jamaican local account, you're going to have to pay the wire fee to send the money over there. But the good news is there are no minimums to start. First Trade, there's none, and with interactive brokers, there's no minimum. So the next easy thing is, so don't ask me how much money do I need to start. You just need to start. So start with what you have. Start with $100 if you just want to get over that hitting the buy button fear, or getting over choosing what to buy. So start with 100, but you really need to add to that account, right, to make it meaningful. But ideally, I would say it'd be good if you had 1,000 US. And again, watch our videos on budgeting, planning, so that you can save towards that initial investment account. But again, you don't need to wait till you have 1,000. Start with 100 and add as you can. Now that you have the account open, you funded it, and you've decided how much money you're going to start with, your next question is, well, what do I buy, Tony? So I would say, if you are brand new, you have no idea about how to pick a company to invest in, I recommend, and you have actually no time to even follow up on this, right? Maybe you have a very demanding job, or your family, you have a lot of family obligations, responsibilities, and you can't be checking every month or so on your investment account. Then I would recommend that you buy something called index funds or ETFs or mutual funds. And the ETFs, and they're really all the same thing. What these fund managers are doing, right? They're highfalutin name for guys or women who pick investments for you, and you pay them a fee, right? Fund managers. They pool monies together from all these different people, and they consolidate it, and they decide, all right, we're going to invest all of these people in these 20 companies. And usually these funds have themes. So it might be all the companies that they're going to pick are in the technology field, or all of them are in the energy field, or all of them are retailers. So the themes are really simple, just as I said, IT, finance, retailing, energy, healthcare, industrials, right? Many different themes. You just choose your theme and you choose your fund. I always recommend with the fund with the lowest fee, because like I said, you have to pay somebody to do the work for you, since it's a convenience, since you don't have the time to do the research and pick the stocks yourself and watch their progress and decide when to sell, right? So you want to find the fund with the lowest fee. And generally, I like ETFs, exchange traded funds, because it feels like you're buying a stock, right? You can just look up the ticker and you can buy it at any point throughout the trading day, and buy it throughout the day. There are a little bit more nuances with mutual funds. So I would just say, for simplicity, I would really recommend you start with an ETF in a particular sector or theme that you're comfortable with. And then there are some funds that just track the overall movement of the market, right? So if all the companies on the stock exchange combined moved by 1% over a year, which is really ridiculously low, but if they did, then your investment would just move by 1%, right? You wouldn't be higher or lower. Generally, that's for persons who are highly risk averse, or it's more important that they maintain the principal on their money as opposed to seeing exponential returns or really high returns. So that's one set of options, right? So if you're brand new, just starting, I highly recommend buying a fund. There are index funds, ETFs, mutual funds. I'm recommending to you to get an ETF in a theme or sector that you're familiar with. Now, if that doesn't interest you, sounds pretty boring, and you want something a little bit more exciting, then you can buy companies directly and make your picks. Now, I've recently decided to shift from being a fairly conservative investor. I was strictly in ETFs for a long time. The ETF for finance and technology actually did really well for me, but I have decided that I'm ready to take a little bit more risk and be a little bit more aggressive with my portfolio. I actually have like a tagline like Michael Leachin, 10 in 10. I want to grow my money by 10 times in 10 years, right? So to do that, I have to make some really bold choices. So I decided I sold out my whole portfolio, and then I bought individual companies, and I have maybe about 15 or so, I think, yeah. And they are generally companies that either are involved in a specific social trend that I'm noticing in maybe just from Instagram or Twitter. I don't follow TikTok, so somebody would have to tell me what's happening on TikTok. But yeah, trends that I'm seeing or observing, or they are companies that are doing business in a space that I believe is really small today, but in 10 years will become the main thing, right? So let's think about Amazon. I would say 20 years ago, first of all, I don't know how old Amazon is, but it definitely either did not exist or that's when they were selling books online, right? And today, I don't think you can meet one person who lives above ground who doesn't know what Amazon is, right? So I'm trying to find the Amazon in 2021, all right? That's the goal. So generally for me, those trends, I mean, I may have to do another video about what I think those trends are, but let me give you an example of the first thing I was talking about with looking at Instagram and just looking at trends. For example, in COVID, people couldn't go to the gym and they're all at home. So there's a company called Peloton that makes, they're like treadmills. No, they're like bikes. They're bikes. My girlfriend, I was talking to her and she lives in the States. And she's like, oh, I'm super excited about getting my Peloton. And I was like, what is a Peloton? And she told me. And then I started seeing Peloton pop up like all over, because our phones are listening to us. So naturally, just picked up everything. And I looked up, I said, well, let me look up the stock. And the stock was, I think it was about $70. And I'd have to look up the exact price today, but it definitely hit $150. In 2021. So those are the type of opportunities, right, that I'm looking for, where I can exponentially grow my investment. So that is the track. Maybe in future videos I'll share more about my portfolio and how it's going, if it's paying off. But the key thing for me, right, this is a long-term investment. So there's a lot of volatility in the US stock market, and volatility is just a fancy word for saying sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down, and it does this a lot. So if your stomach can't take the ride, then it is not for you, right? And the difference with the US stock market and Jamaica is that news moves the stock market much more quickly. So if the president does something or the chairman of their central, Fed Reserve does something, it will show in the stock market immediately. So, I'll be honest, my portfolio today is down double digits, like 15 or something %. But I am shutting my eye because I really feel convicted about companies, and I know in the long term they're going to be big. So that is me. That's my portfolio, and guys, that is the US stock market. This is just a quick intro. We can do some more, but comment, send me your questions. Tell me how your portfolio is doing. How are you managing? Let's share tips and ideas. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Catch you in the next video.